everybody. Welcome back once again. It is week 5, game 5. I'm on the campus of Blackman High School. Couple of logistics we got going on. Tomorrow night we're going to be on the road. We'll be at Helena, Alabama. That broadcast will kick off at 6 o'clock for Pelham, Helena. Next week we're in non-conference. There'll be no coaches shows next week, but Stork Vision will be back. We're going to be over at the reservation for a non-conference game. That's Smyrna, Riverdale. Then coaches shows will pick back up leading into the September 30th. That is week 7, game 7. And that game will be here at the Inferno. And that'll be the Oakland Patriots and the Blackman Blaze. But first, and with me, is the head coach of the Blackman Blaze, head coach Chandler Tygard. How you doing today, Coach?
I'm good, Stork. How are you?
Sorry for the long introduction, but we just want to make sure we do use this as a communication. And last night, my wife fell and dislocated her shoulder, so she's okay, but some of those coaches shows that people plan on seeing, and we wanted to talk to Will Hester and find out about his situation. He's got the Battle of the Woods. That's a great game, and then we've got some other games going on. You know, you got the Siegel Oakland game, which is a conference game in our conference. Then you've got that Riverdale Rockville game, which is huge. And then you've got you going down to Stewart's Creek, that big Stewart's Creek Blackman game. But first, I wanted to go over last Friday night. Stork Vision was right here at the Inferno, and I want to go over those stats. And that was Summit Blackman. First down, Summit had 13, Blackman had 25. Rushing yards, Summit had 82. Blackman on the ground, 304. In the air for the Summit Spartans, 219, 431 for the Blackman Blaze. Total yards, 301 for Summit, 734 for the Blackman Blaze. 2 turnovers for the Spartans, 3 for you. Penalties, 11 for them for 94 yards, 4 for you for 35. Very controllable in the big victory over the Summit Spartans from the desk of Dean Fox, the Fox that rocks. And let's hear about your analysis of the game.
On Summit, the first half went about as good as it could, other than the turnovers. So we had, I think, 555 yards at halftime to their 80. We turned it over 3 times inside the 5-yard line, getting a little greedy down there, trying to throw passing touchdowns and stuff like that.
Saw a real good performance out of Jacob Page and Ben Marshall, Justin Brown,
Jack Reisner.
Yes, Jack Reisner played a great game.
Yeah, it should have been 56-0. We felt like going into the half, so we got the harp on that when we went in there. That was the first time we blown somebody out since I've been the coach, so that was new for us. This week's the first time we're, I guess, a heavy favorite since I've been the coach, so we're still learning how to do these things, and so at halftime we're actually upset because of those things, and then we let them kind of score 21 points, and they threw for 200 yards in the third quarter, and so we were still harping on plenty of stuff, and that lots to talk about, even though it was a school record for total yards, and then Ben Marshall's 97-yard touchdown y'all called was a school record too, so that's 20 school records in 2 years. That's kind of cool.
Well, and so what have you been working on this week? What have you been trying to do to get better as Blackman Blaze get ready for this Friday night?
Honestly, we're still just working on us, trying to get better at what we do. We were a lot more balanced last week running the ball, so we ran the ball very well. So we're trying to just improve everything we can. Worry about us, not necessarily worry about the other team or who's down the road or who you're playing. Especially offensively, we say the only people that can stop us is us. So we cut down on penalties. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
So we did a lot good, but there was still plenty to harp on, and we got a big game again Friday night.
Well, and we look at Friday night, head coach Ben Caudell and the Stewart's Creek Red Hawks. What do you like about these guys when you flip on the video and you start reviewing them? You traded on Saturday or Sunday or Saturday. What do you like about these guys? We're
familiar with each other. Ben does a really good job. He's taken over the defense this year, and then he's got a really good offensive coordinator who I've coached against before in the past. I coached defense, and he coached offense, and vice versa. I can't remember. But he's got good coaches. They've got some good players. The Otay kid's really good. Probably the best running back we've seen up to this point. They've got a very good slot receiver running jet sweeps, athletic quarterback, big and strong. They do a very good coaching job where they give you a lot of different formations and motions and looks. They can get your 16-year-old's head spinning with all the formations and motions. So it'll be a challenge for us for sure to slow them down. And then defensively, Ben's a defensive coach, so they're going to be more coached than they're supposed to be.
What's the one thing you want to do and you want to get accomplished besides get the win? What's the one thing you want to harp on this week about getting better?
Honestly, they do so much. We want to be able to make sure we're lined up correctly. And, we just need to play a complete game. We still haven't won. We haven't won a game to where we won by exactly what we thought, and or we left points out on the field. It should have been 70-0 last week. And so until we play a truly complete game, it's hard to be completely happy. Although we did a lot of good things last week, but it's just one game at a time. In this region, if you don't come to play, you'll get beat. So.
Well, it is region games, and those count for the playoffs, and you need every one of them.
They beat us last year, and we had seven penalties. We lost 30% chance to win the game on those 7 penalties. We had a bunch of personal fouls. We kicked the football. We did some crazy stuff last year.
And you were at home.
And we were at home, yeah. And so we've actually been playing a bunch of the videos from last year with Stewart Creek. It was the first time they ever beat Blackman High School. And so I made sure.
That's one of the rivalries I wanted, and then they threw him into the region. But Kid Hartsfield and I talked about it, that when he became the coach, and no matter what, before they had talked about it, that Blackman will play Stewart's Creek every year moving forward, and I'm glad that they're in
the region. Honestly, we should. We should play Smyrna. We should play Laverne. I would love to have.
Oh, we would too. Everybody. I'd love to keep it all.
I'm trying. So as we do the schedule next year and stuff, I'm gonna call those guys and try to get it. See if we can get it done. Because traveling gates.
Oh, it would be. They're great gates. No question. Good gates. Great gates. Kids. Load up and head down to Stewart's Creek. That game kickoff's at 7 o'clock, and follow the Blackman Blaze as they take on the Stewart's Creek Redhawks.
The Blaze.